Okay, so this is the definition of dyslexia. I'll give you a few minutes to read it. Alright, so I was born with dyslexia, so my left side of the brain is different than people without it. So here's the picture. This is a non-impaired brain that doesn't have dyslexia. There's a lot going on over here. And over here with the dyslexic brain, there's not that stuff going on over here. So my mom knew I was dyslexic when I was 3 years old. She showed all the symptoms of dyslexia, and she worked on me with rhyming, hearing, sounds, and she read to me and taught me the alphabet. So in first and second grade, I was reading really slow, and all my friends were reading these books that I wanted to read, so I just fake read with them, and my benchmarks were below grade level. And so my mom just kept on working with me every night. And so at third grade, I was finally doing really well because my mom's work paid off. But then again in sixth grade at Merrill, we had to read a book in 2 weeks. And I wasn't able to do that with a book at my grade level. So I had to read below grade level. And that... So that was not that great for me in sixth grade, but in seventh grade, I asked my language arts teacher if I could just read a book as long as I wanted to, take my time if I did like a project every 2 weeks on it or something. So that worked, and with all my mom's work and stuff, I was able to really not be that impacted with dyslexia. So the symptoms of dyslexia, they have difficulties with sounds in words. So they'd have trouble with at, cat, at. They would have trouble recognizing those sounds. Poor spelling and grammar. Trouble using words correctly. Slow and choppy reading. What I mean by choppy is have to stop to figure out words. Inaccurate reading. They have many errors. And difficulties with writing, so organization and grammar. So what dyslexia is not seeing numbers or letters backwards. Dyslexia has nothing to do with vision. It's a brain issue. And it is not writing letters backwards or mirror images of words. This behavior is common between ages 9. So dyslexias are not lazy, dumb, stupid, or lacking in effort. And dyslexia does not mean your parents did not read to you. You were born with it, if you have it. Alright, so we're going to do a dyslexic simulation so you can feel like a dyslexic. So when you see Q, pronounce it as D or T. When you see Z, pronounce it as M. When you see P, pronounce it as B. When you see B, pronounce it as P. When you see YS, pronounce it as ER. When you see A, as in bat, pronounce it as E as in pet. When you see E as in pet, pronounce it as A as in bat. Okay, so now use all that and read that. Anyone want to share how that felt?
Hard.
So, dyslexics have a hard time remembering phonics. So this is what it actually said. I'll give you a few minutes to read. Alright, so strengths of dyslexics. They're often highly creative, they're persistent, they can easily grasp new concepts, they can see patterns, connections, and similarities that others don't see. They're excellent at solving puzzles, they're holistic, they see the big picture, don't get lost in details, and go to the important aspects. They're excellent comprehension of stories read or told to them, strong reasoning skills, understand abstract ideas, and inclination to think outside the box. And dyslexics are 4 times more likely to become self-made millionaires than the regular population. So instructions that dyslexics need. They need lots of work with sound, lots of repetition with phonics, direct instruction in grammar, constant reading practice with feedback, phonics-based and phonics-based spelling instructions. So here are some famous dyslexics. I wanted to include this slide because kids need to know that they are not alone. They can do anything. And they can do anything that they set their minds to. So here are just a few examples of famous dyslexics. Albert Einstein. My diary is a disaster. I can't spell at all. I spell the same word completely differently in the same sentence. Steven Spielberg. Movies really helped me, kind of saved me from shame, from guilt, from putting it on myself when it wasn't my burden. I think making movies was my great escape. It was how I could get away from all that. Tom Edison. This is a persistence quote for him. I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Leonardo da Vinci. You should prefer a good scientist without literary abilities than a literate one without scientific skills. Governor Hickenlooper. I was always frustrating people because I tested well, and yet I couldn't keep up with the reading, and yet I was really good at math. Jim Carrey. This is not a quote that he said, but a good quote about him. So his greatest bursts of creativity were born out of desperation, so was his remarkable willingness to take risks. Tom Cruise. When you have to cope with a lot of problems, you're either going to sink or you're going to swim. What you can do. So up to 20% of your students are on this dyslexia spectrum. So you can learn to recognize symptoms in kids. You can learn more about dyslexia and how to work with dyslexic kids. You can support them when they need extra time or any help. And don't make them feel stupid because then they won't try it.